Welcome to Reykjavík Grapevine's newscast. My name is Valur Grettisson. I'm an editor-in-chief at Reykjavík Grapevine. We're here in close to Grindavík, very close to the volcano site. We're going to talk only about volcano today, the situation, what's going to happen, and basically that it could go off at any moment now. Before we go there, I want to remind you, of course, of our sponsors. Einstök Beer. They have been following us, sponsoring us from the beginning. Big friends of ours. If you find them in your local store, wherever you are in the world, you will probably find them, and it's a fantastic ale, and just go for it. Also, Lava Center, they helped us doing these volcano casts, and they are in the south of Iceland, a brilliant tech museum, which basically if you want to experience volcano really up and close, that would be the place to go. Very, very nice museum, in my opinion, one of the best in Iceland. And of course, we have a bestseller box. This is from our marketing department. They've compiled all of the things that have been selling the best, put it in a box, and if you want to win this, you can actually sign up for our newsletter. And then our newsletter is, you can find the link down here, and you have to do it before 3 o'clock tomorrow, which is Friday. Today is Thursday, the 30th, the next last day, second last day before of this year, of this dreadful year, my add. But we have a quiz also, always have a quiz in these newsletters, which friend of ours, which Helgi in the marketing department writes. And here you go. Which of these Grapevine news headlines did not come up in 2021? Is it A walrus disappeared from hub? Is it B, breaking eruption at Fagradalsfjall? Is it C, Hildur Guðnadóttir wins Grammy for Joker? Or is it D, summer of 2021, the warmest ever recorded in Reykjavík? And Art's going to show you here beside me how this is all spelled and pronounced, so you can definitely understand this. Keep in mind, if you comment the answer, it's not valid. You have to sign up for the newsletter, but we enjoy it anyway. So please comment if you want to comment. But enough of that. I have to talk about the sun, right? It's noon right now in Iceland, and we picked this place a little bit because of the sun. It's a very beautiful day today, one of the most beautiful winter days I've seen so far. We're very lucky with weather, and this is east, or southeast, slightly to the south. The sun is coming up, and as you can see, it's just a little bit above the water, and it's going to sit probably somewhere early in the south. So it's winter time in Iceland, and it's beautiful, and we're going to show you the scenery, and we're going to show you the volcano from a little bit of different kind of perspective, because things are changing very rapidly. So let's go for it. Geef hem dan aan. Cool. So, first, earthquakes have been between 2,000 and 3,000 every day for a few weeks. The thing is, though, that that it dropped yesterday, and what that means basically is that the volcano is probably set to go off. We know this because it's exactly the same element that happened last time, the same cycle, and we had a month or two just of very violent earthquakes all the time. They went from the range was from 3 to 6 in magnitude, or 5.9 in magnitude. But this time, the biggest one has been 4.9. So scientists, they have been asking themselves, because they actually declared this volcano dead on the 18th or 19th of December. They said that the volcano, it has been off for 3 months, and therefore there is no volcano. So they would not be the first to be wrong. But the thing is, technically, this is not the same eruption. So if a new eruption will come up now, it will be a new eruption at the same place, just a few months after the other one. which would be like, at least I have never seen this before in Iceland. I'm not sure if any geologists have seen a volcano in the like in the same volcanic station with such a short such a short time between. It's very interesting. Magnús Tumi, he is our like leading volcanologist in Iceland, and he is like one of the most like head figures in the science committee that we have. So every time we have like a natural disaster, whatever that could be, he is the man that is in this committee, and he is a very distinguished scientist. And he has been saying now in interviews that, you remember when I told you the last newscast, that it could be just a matter of 3 weeks until the eruption will start. But he said, well, it could actually be days. And he based this on the experience of the other one, which meant that we have we will have 2,000 to 3,000 earthquakes, but all of a sudden now we have around 200, which is normal actually. It's normal in this area. I know it sounds much, but all of these earthquakes are very small, so it's not a headache. But the other ones, they were bad. The thing is, the reason these earthquakes are here, and they are shaking us so like relentlessly, basically, is because the Reykjavík Peninsula is the youngest part of Iceland. It's the last part of Iceland that was formed actually, and it's quite different from other parts of Iceland, both when it comes to nature as well as like geology. When it comes to geology, because when these earthquakes come up, there is no doubt that it's like when they are so like hectic as they have been, that this is magma trying to come up. And now we're sure it is trying to break up, and we know it's really trying to push through, but the thing is just the power to push through. That's a whole different thing. It needs, like we've often spoken about before, it needs a combination of gas and such, so it can explode up. It doesn't really, like we saw often, the gas is not always that much. For example, in the beginning of the fissure that happened in March, last March, it was quite was quite weak, but then later on it became much stronger and even resembled more as like a fire geyser, like we called it at the time. Yeah. Also, the earthquakes have been all around, and the thing is, this has been confusing for some because it's been like not only in this area. For example, it has been like way to the north here, close to Kleifravatn, which means that the earthquakes, like we call them basically these trigger earthquakes. I didn't find an English word for this. In Icelandic, this is gikkskjálftar. I know it sounds different, but literally just like translate to this basically these earthquakes that are triggered, and they are not connected to anything. Here we can see actually Vogar. I need you to see this because it's connected to a lot of things. This is west, by the way. So Snæfellsjökull is a little bit to the south of here. And then we have the Blue Lagoon. You can perhaps see the smoke over there. This is Svartsengi, the hydrothermal power plant. And then we have the Blue Lagoon, which is fueled by the water coming from the plant. And the town of Grindavík is also there in between these mountains. So you can see just how close we are actually to these towns. But if you go here, we can see the lava, it's black over there, and the crater is over there. We can't see it, I think not. The landscape is changing so quickly. But to the news that actually matters, where will this come up? So, scientists have been showing us maps in the news where all of this activity is going on. And this place here is called Nátthagakriki. We often talked about it before, and that is this area here. Above this is the volcano. It's on the other side. But the thing is, we had like defense walls built over there, so the lava would not go to Nátthagakriki. Now, why did we do that? The reason is simple, because this area here is very different, of course, from the mountains over there. The mountains are like literally like a bowl. So when there is a huge amount of volume of lava in these bowls, and these mountains have no problem of like absorbing it all. You won't even notice it until you're up there, basically. But if it would actually, if the mountain, like the volcano, would erupt in this area here, that would mean that there are no way of stopping it. It could just go straight down to Vogar over there. It could head on to Grindavík, which is over there. Or it could also just go down to the sea over here. But either way, the road is of course lost. But it's not a headache. Nobody's using this road. It doesn't really matter. We're not relying on it. I mean, some are using it, of course, but it's not that much of an importance. But the thing is, like scientists have been hesitating of telling us where exactly this would come up. But what we know is that Nátthagakriki, that is where the action is right now. All of these new earthquakes are actually happening in this area, and we think, I mean, is as likely that it would come actually up there. But that would be like the worst case scenario, to be honest, because I mean, it would threat some infrastructure now for real. The other one was very polite. The good news is, of course, that they think the volume in this eruption would be much less, like 2 or 3 times less at least. That means that this would be a very calm and just a very nice eruption, basically, almost like a touristic kind of eruption. But the thing is that it doesn't really matter. It would always pose much more threat than not. It could go off, of course, where the lava is. Some have said that it could be at Nátthagi. There has been actually a lot of earthquake in Nátthagi as well as in Meradalir. But at least past days, this was the area that we had most of the activity in Nátthagakriki, and you can just see like there are. This is where we have like the parking lots and so on for if you want to start hiking. So you could basically just go up here where we are, and you would see the volcano from here, even in a much nicer way in some ways. But the thing is, of course, nobody knows. My guess is as good as anyone, except for the scientists, I guess. They would know better, I hope. Art is of course going to show you like how it is, but just to explain a little bit better, so Art will show you. So this is Nátthagakriki. That's like at the roots of this mountain. This is Fagradalsfjall. This is the station that is producing these volcanoes. So you can see perhaps the black lava, and then on to the north, that is basically the line of the magma. And the line is very similar as like the beginning of the last eruption. It's around 4 to 5 kilometers. And it goes also down here as well as like all the way to the other side. Now it's just a matter of practicality, like, and power, basically, like how to break through the earth and how to basically produce enough power to break through all of this. The magma is of course on 2 kilometers depth. It's not much. It's actually like means that it's in position to thrust up anytime, like right now, if even like nobody really knows. It could, and this is of course the reason that the police have said that people should not actually be hiking here right now, because this could happen very quickly. But keep in mind, this is not like in the movies where you have like pyroclastic volcano roaring up or whatever, like how they would like show that. This would be like a very slow thing, and you would have some minutes to get away. So it's not like you will not be burned to ashes just by being in the area. So just it means that you have to be really careful. You have to watch all the news. You have to be very awake awake for like whatever could happen, because it could be very quick, and it could be very interesting to see the course. But I mean, like that's always, like, if there is nothing at risk, then it's not that interesting, right? There's always a little danger when it comes to it. But until then, I also want to tell you, of course, Happy New Year. It's been the weirdest year of all time, I think, and I'm hoping that all of you have had a good year. Us in Iceland actually have had a pretty good year. A lot of time that we could be free from the virus. The newest information about the virus is that it's not, by far not as dangerous as we used to have, meaning that this Omicron variant have only there are only 3 people that have gotten the virus and ended up in critical care in hospital. So that's quite actually good, because we have like thousands of Icelanders that have had the virus, and it's like, percentage-wise, this is incredible. So it could actually, if this would be the case, then we could be looking at a very different kind of restrictions and perhaps a future in the new year. And I hope so. I hope this virus will basically just go away. This is becoming very tiresome and boring. We want to have tourism in Iceland. We want to meet our friends and our loved ones, and we just want to have fun, right? So, what Icelanders do on New Year's Eve, we just blow the whole thing away. We shoot up fireworks because we want to blow the past away. A very Icelandic kind of a thing to do also. So this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to blow this thing away. But this has been a very this has been quite the experience this year in many ways, and you have been with me the most of it. So I deeply appreciate that. So like and subscribe, of course, and Happy New Year, and I hope you enjoy the night and so on. Okay. Also from Art, right? Art and Josie, of course. Hi, Polly. Hi, Polly. Kata.